Hello everyone. My name is Benjamin Rivera and this is my project. My presentation is about child abuse. So, various aspects of child abuse has been occurring in the past. Many don't know how long it's been going on, but it's visible to this day. There have been various suspects who have been guilty of charges to child abuse, depending on what the child has been through in the past. There is, as of today, there has been more focus on child abuse since the 60s and 70s. The oath to this is that in the 1960s, doctors became aware of child abuse by noticing any. Doctors have became more noticeable of child abuse by noticing the scars left on their bodies, bruises, and even cuts left by the abuser. Child protection organizations such as Child Protective Services, or CPS for short, began to form as awareness of child abuse increased throughout the years. And as of today, Child Protective Services is still going on to this day, doing the right thing and making sure that these children have a better life in their time. Even when it comes to child abuse, there are boundaries. Nurses are often the first to discover that the healthy child has some hidden scars, along with businesses, cuts, and or even malnutrition. By going under the radar, nurses often notice unusual marks of the child patient, such as Gypsy Rose Blanchard, who had her scars completely hidden due to the abuse of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. A doctor should always look into the child from the hands of the abuser, so doctors can understand what is really going on and even figure out what's really lying behind the facade. And people usually ask, is the parent hiding something that the nurses and doctors not know about? Sometimes there's a manipulation behind the parents. Parents can manipulate the child to say the things they want them to say, because there are points in life where the parents do the talking or mama does the talking. But in this case, on rare cases, there are many things going on behind the family. As of today, cases are still emerging from the ground and becoming more exposed to the public, as if everyone is hearing about this now, later, or even having some suspicions of what was really going on. For example, Kimberly Cargill. She's known as a 3 times divorcee, and also been known to abusing her own children. She is even a master manipulator, and worst of all, she managed to get off the case because there have been times where there have been times where she blamed the victim, but she takes the bull and says that she was the victim, but that's not the case. The children who was in her hands were the victim the whole time. She nearly choked them to death. She locked them outside the bedroom with the lock on the other side of the door, and was like a ticking time bomb. Out of all the sons Cargill had, there was one son she had where he testified and explained everything that he has went through in the hands of his own mom. During a time where he was playing on the Xbox and he got angry, his mom apparently Kimberly Cargill apparently started choking him with the Xbox cable that she unplugged it from. He'd been through many scars, tried to run away from home, and worst of all, he escaped to his father's place, where he was actually where the father too, Brian Cargill, was also abused from Kimberly Cargill. After all that, the father managed to gain custody of Jamie Cargill and is now living a better life. As the victim she murdered, however, was no child. It was a babysitter who was a caring type towards towards her own children, and Kimberly was on the verge of losing her youngest son, Luke. What's worse is that when Kimberly saw that Cherry noticed a mark on Luke, she was going to testify during the CPS trial to testify of what Kimberly has done. But as Kimberly was driving Cherry home, she snapped. She ended up killing Cherry Walker and putting the car aflame with Cherry still inside it. Kimberly claimed that Cherry had an epileptic seizure when it happened, but in reality, she knocked Cherry out, left her in the car, crashed the car into a tree, and put the car into a flame, as if she wasn't going to be caught. But the suspicions began to grow. What happened next? Kimberly was brought into court and was charged with capital murder of Cherry Walker, along with her history of abuse towards her own children and manipulation. She was given a death sentence and is still behind bars to this day. To be more aware of when child abuse is occurring, doctors, nurses, and caregivers should always have a closer examination of their patients and should always notify the police. The world has learned that Jamie was not the only child abused by his own mother, because in the past she also abused her own children while also divorced and still had custody over the fathers, not knowing what she is really capable of. In addition to physical abuse, children can experience emotional and sexual abuse as well as neglect. These children deserve a happy life. These children deserve the parents and caregivers they deserve. Thank you for listening.